Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. In today's session, I'm going to show you how to create a simple JSF form. So let me open my NetBeans. Let me open a new project. So let me name the project as JSF Form 1. So you can see the project is created. So here you can see the HTML page is created. We don't want HTML page. We want an hex HTML page. So just right click new JSF page. So if you don't find JSF page here, just click on others. You have Java server faces. You have a JSF page here. Okay. Now give a name for the page. Let me call this page as index page. Okay. Then click on finish. So you can see the page has been created. Now here you can see these are the tag libraries. So this is your default HTML tag libraries. Now once this library is available here, you are ready to use all the HTML tags inside your JSF page. So now I'm going to create a sample form. So let me create a form. Inside the form, I have to create a panel grid. Okay, I need a column equal to 2. I have to specify column equal to 2 because everything I'm going to put it in 2 columns. The first one will be label, the second column will be the user interface components. So first column I'm going to add is output label value equal to name. So I'm going to create a student registration form with the name. And the next one will be a text box. Now this value, I'm going to link it with a backing bean. So in JSF, the specialty is the presentation and the business logic are separated. So here I write my presentation, the view. Okay, the business logic for this particular form, I will write it in the backing bean. So I have to map which are the user interface components are mapped to which variable in the backing bean. So to create that mapping, we need an expression language. So here we have to write an expression language to create the mapping. So let me fill these fields later after creating the form. So now I'll create the next one. The next one is the password. For password, we have a special tag. Input secret. Okay. The next user interface component I am going to add is I'm going to create a combo box. This is for the country. Okay, for country I'm going to create a combo box. For combo box, the tag is select one menu. So if you want to select only one item from the combo box, then you have to use select one menu. Okay, to specify the items inside the combo box, we have to use a tag f tag. F tag is actually coming from core tag library. So we have to use select item and we have to give the item name. Okay, item label. Okay, so the h tag, this is actually coming from core HTML tag library and this one is coming from the core tag library. Now if you can see, automatically the library is added. When you start using the tags, you can see the library is added automatically here. So let me add the options inside the combo box. So this is to add the combo box, and you can select only one item from the combo box. The next field I am going to add is a gender field, and it will be a radio button. To add the radio button, we have the tag h:, select radio. So you can see here, select one radio. Okay, and we have to specify the options using the same tag, f:, select item tag, and the label will be male and female. Okay, the next column I'm going to add is the address. So let me add a label. And then I need to add a text area. I'm going to add a bigger text box, which is called as a text area. So you have a tag called as input text area. So here these are the attributes along with this tag. So you have to specify how many rows and how many columns are the size of the text area. So number of rows. So this indicates the size of the text area, number of rows. Okay, and the next attribute you have to specify is the number of columns, how many columns we want. Okay. Next, I'm going to create a label to create a link. Okay, to create a link, we have an option called as command link. Suppose you want to move from one page to another page. In that case, you can use a command link. So it will create a link. This is just to show you how to use a link. Now there are different attributes inside command link. So here you can see the action attribute. So this will tell you to which page you have to move when you click the command link. Okay, the next label I'm going to add is input file. Suppose you want to upload your resume or you want to upload any file, then you can use this. So here let me add a label. So the tag is h:, input file. Okay, and the value is what you want to display inside the button. Okay, so finish creating the form. At the end of the form, now all this user interface components will be displayed in a grid. Okay, with column 2. So in the left side you will have the labels, in the right side you will have the text box, you will have your combo box, you will have your radio button, etc. Okay, so at the end of the panel grid, now in the center I need a button. So outside the panel grid I give a button. Okay, so it's a command button. Now you can specify the value of the button, what type of value of the button. Okay, it means what you want to display inside the button, and then what action you want to take when you click the button. Okay, so this logics I will write it in the backing bean. Okay, so we have finished our form. Now let me write the backing bean. Now how to write the backing bean? Just click on the project, new. Okay, we are going to create a CDI bean. So click on JSF CDI bean and give a name for the bean. So let the name for the bean be student. Okay, and give a package name where you have to create the student bean. So let me give the package name as login. So any name you can give. So it's always best practice to create your bean inside the package. So once this is done, now you can click on finish. Now let me change the scope of this bean. So here you have different scopes. So let me select the scope as session scope. Okay, then click on finish. So here you can see your bean is created. Now how will you tell this is a bean? Because you have an annotation here. So if you have @named annotation, then this bean is called as CDI bean. Okay, so this is your name of your class, and this is the name of your bean. Okay, and this is your scope of your bean. Now you can see the constructor comes by default. Now here you have to write the logic. So before we write the logic, you have to create the attributes. Inside the bean, the attributes should be all private. Now we need to do some logic. For example, we created user interface components like name, password. Suppose you want to do some logic, you have to check whether the name is you have to check the validity of the name, or you want to check whether your password is minimum 6 characters, or it's having a capital letter, @ etc. Okay, so it means that's a logic, right? So you have to check which country the student belongs to. You have to check whether the student have really entered the value inside each component. So you have to do some validation. So it means you have to do some logic. Those logics you can write it in the bean. Okay, so if you want to write the bean, you have to create variables, right? So you have to map those variables with the user interface component. So let me create here string name. Okay, now whatever I declare in my bean, it should be private. Okay, and now I have to tell this name is equal to this user interface component. See here, I have created an input text box for name. Now I have to map this user interface component with the variable that I have declared in the bean. Okay, so how to create that mapping? Here I have to write hash. Okay, the name of the bean, sorry, the name of the bean is student. So here you can see this is your name of a bean, student dot. Okay, so when you give a dot, automatically the attribute that you declare will be visible here. Just a minute, it will just take some time. Okay, let's finish the full program and we will come back here. Let me go to my bean. So this is my bean, student. Okay, so here I have declared name. Similarly, I have to declare, because I have to write get and set method here, then only this name will be visible here. Okay, because the name is private, so I cannot refer name here. So I have to write get and set method in my bean to refer a name in my JSF form. So let me complete the program. So the next attribute you have to declare is the password. Okay, then you can declare string country. Okay, then you can declare string gender. Okay, so I think these things are enough. Now once you declare everything as private, now you cannot access all these things in the form because it's private. So just you can right click and click insert code, getter and setter. You have to write the getter and setter for all these attributes. So here you can see getter and setter. So once this is done, now you can go to your JSF form. Here you can write the name of your bean dot. You can get the attribute names here. So this input box, it is mapped with name in bean, and this is for password. So again I use the expression language to create a link, student dot. I link it with password. Similarly, this select menu. So here I have value okay, student dot, I map it with country, gender, again I create, sorry, for a radio button I have option called as value, again I link it with my bean, okay. So this is how I have to create a link with my bean. And now there is one more thing remaining here. In the command button, if I click login, okay, you want to go to another page and you want something to display like login successful. So you have to move to another page. So you have to move to another page. So the logic I will write it in the bean. Okay, so let me go to my bean and create a method public do login. So I'm just creating a method. Inside this method I will write return success. Success is the name of the page. So when I click do login, it will go to page success. So now we have not created this page success. Now I'll go here, I'll create a new JSF page. The page name is success. Okay, so here I will tell login successful. Okay, just save it. Now come back to your index page. So here I have to call the method that I have created in the bean. So again I use the expression language to create the link. The name of the bean is student dot, I call the method do login. Okay, that's it. Now here I have created a command link. So here also when I click this, it will directly go to that page. Just I'm creating just to tell you how to use this command link button. So in the action field, I have to tell where it has to go. So I can tell here also it calls the same method student dot to login. Okay, so command link and command button are doing the same concept, but for command link just it creates a link like structure. Button will look like a button appearance. Okay, just I will save this. Now you can execute your program. Your program is ready to run. You can see the Glassfish server is started and it is running. And we get the output here. So this is output. So we get the name, password, the combo box, the radio button, the address, the link page. Okay, and then so just here we get this error because we have to include one option in the form. We have to use in the form we have to use encrypt the form data. So let me go and finish that. Now here in this form I have to specify encrypt type. I have to mention the encrypt type. Encrypt type is multi-part or form data. Okay, just I will save this. Now just I will execute. Now you get your output. Now you don't find that error. Now let me type some name here. This is my password. I select the country. Oh, here we copy the same thing. So let me change later. And this is your address. Now if you want, you can upload any file here. See, when I click here, you can upload any file. Any file you can upload, and when you click login, okay, there is an error. Just let me check. When you click login, okay, let me check. When you click login, you go to student.do login. It goes to the page success. So here you have success. Okay, let me sort out this problem. Yes, the problem here is we did not specify the type of the button. Okay, this is very important attribute of button. The type should be submit. Okay, now when you run, you see you get the form. When you click login, you can see it goes to the next page, login successful. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add an image on top of this form. To add the image on top of the form, I'm going to add the image. So before the panel grid, let me add an image. To add an image, you have to use hpanel graphics image tag. Okay, you have to write value tag. In the value tag, you have to write the location where you place your image. Okay, so let me create a resource folder to hold the images. Okay, so inside the web pages, I can create a new folder called as resource. Okay, resources. So inside resources, I can put my image. Okay, so I have one image in my desktop. Let me copy this image and I will put it in the NetBeans project, JSF Form 1, in source, main, resources, I will put my image. Okay, already there is a resource folder. I think we can use the same resource folder instead of creating a new. So let me delete this folder. So we have a resource folder already. Okay, so you can see inside the source folder, inside main, you have a folder called as resources. So you can put your image inside the resource folder. So once this is done, now you can come back to your program code. Okay, so here in the graphic image, okay, sorry, you have to create your image in a separate folder. So here you can see I have created a separate folder inside the web page, separate folder called as resource folder. Inside the resource folder, I store the image. Okay, and then give the path of this image in the graphics image column. Now you can see the output. Now you can see the output. Okay. And when you click login, you can see it goes to the next page. Oh, what happened? Yeah, it is working. So now you can see when you click login, it goes to the next page, login successful. Okay, and you got the form here. Now here we have not done any validation for this form. Okay, validation we will see it in a separate video. Thank you.